Hello everyone again. I think this topic is quite fascinating, interesting for everyone. And when we say digital transformation, a lot of time it means different for different people. But what I would like to have a discussion with the panelists who are experts in their own field is try and set a stage of starting with what are the key drivers you see which is driving digital transformation in today's world. How do you see these drivers really affecting the banking from a transformation perspective?
Okay. I think it should start inside from the leaders of the head office in the banks. We should promote the idea. We have to change the strategies of the bank. So they should be the first person which are interested in changing and digitalization. And they start to create a team, to decide who is leading, and to decide to what direction and what product they have to create. So the first should start from the heads of the banks, and they should be the people which are going up, in my mind.
I believe the key drivers for any initiative in a commercial organization where banks are the commercial organization is always money. So we can clearly see that like 20 years ago, nobody has been speaking about digital banks. Now they are there on the market. They are obtaining a solid market share compared to the traditional banks. And of course, it's up to some kind of board members or executives at the banks to make a decision why this happens. What kind of value proposition do this initially small player, which are instantly growing, providing to the end consumers? And throughout that, of course, the traditional banks have to transform as well. So behind that type of initiative, I see money. So either the digital transformation is to decrease the cost of goods sold or to create a new channel to promote existing products. Whenever, like, it's the finance which moves all this initiative to the market.
I will speak about our example. The driver for us was the need, the problem, the pain. We went to the bank to get a loan. It took a lot of papers, going back, going forth, waiting for 2 days. And we said, this is not normal. It shouldn't be like this. I have a mobile app at the bank which works fast. I can pay right now. The money gets into the other card or into the other account in 2 minutes. But why wouldn't this process of lending, in our case, wouldn't be the same, like 100% online? And this is where it all started. Let's do it. Let's make it possible. Thanks.
I think what I can do is talk about the digital transformation in payments. And I think payments receive the need to align to the digital transformation from all the other sectors, to align his processes and to bring new services in order for the clients to receive the services they were expecting to receive. So I think the digital transformation came as a consequence of everything that was moving around us, and the banks and the financial institution felt the need to keep their clients, but only if they are aligning with the new client expectation from the products and services that they should provide.
So I'm the last one to speak about this subject, and actually you covered most of the key drivers. What I consider that is the most important, at least for the financial sector, yes, it's that first of all they have to meet the client needs, and in these times everybody is used to get services like you get on Amazon, yeah? everything should be there at a click distance, yeah, and you need to offer this kind of services to your customers. Another big point, it's to stay relevant. This is another key point that should make banks to adopt the digital transformation, because there are a lot of companies coming from outside this sector, yeah, the big tech companies which are right now involved in many financial solutions, and if they don't shift and do not enter in this digital services area, they will lose a lot of clients and, of course, a lot of money. Yeah.
Well, I think that's well said. And when you touched upon the customer-centric approach, let me start the next question with you now. So, how do you see the financial institutions, kind of adopting towards the customer-centric approach? What are the areas what they really are focusing on? Any thoughts on that?
I really didn't understand very well your question.
Okay, let me rephrase it a bit. When I talk about customer-centric approach, how can these financial institutes ensure that whatever strategy they're applying is on the right track towards customer-centric approach? You would be talking to a lot of banks. So have you come across any bank who would be really on a right customer-centric approach, or some kind of discussions on that? Any thoughts would be great.
Tough for me, because I'm not from this sector, and I do not know exactly how they should approach it. But I will try to point out some facts. So, in my perspective, they have to provide services that are easy to access. This is the main topic. And for this, they have to completely shift their perspective. Yeah, digital transformation doesn't mean just to adopt technology. Yeah, it's a complete change of the mindset. You need to understand this this environment, yeah, and to try to get close to your customers and to their needs.
Perfect. And do you want to?
Yes, I will add something because I think the success in the digital transformation is very well, you said, it's not only about adopting the technology. It's about creating the services starting with the client needs. Now, as I was saying in the presentation earlier, everybody wants to become digital because it's the new trend. But we need to sit a little and start looking at our portfolios and start looking at our client behavior and our particularities of the clients, and then build the services and the solution according to those, with those habits. Because it's not going to be the same solution, or it should not be the same solution if your portfolio is, it's mostly pensioners, or it's the students, or you have the focus on the salary cards. So look first at the client behavior and then start to think how to create the digital solutions.
Well said.
From our perspective, I agree with what my colleague said. In the same time, I can add that it's a never-ending story. Of course, you have to study your customers, their journey on your platforms all the time. For instance, when we've launched the platform in 2019, we've designed the onboarding, the eKYC in one way. Now, we are analyzing what our competitors have, what our competitors on the EU market have. And we understood that we have too many steps. So the clients also, every time when you ask the clients, they say, I just want one click and that's it. Well, it's not always possible, and you have to make a compromise between what's necessary, because usually we are regulated in different markets in some way, and what you can simplify for customers. So we are analyzing the behavior of clients all the time, redoing, rechecking the steps, simplifying as much as possible, because we understand that the user experience is what drives the enthusiasm or not to the client. If he has an easy process, easy to understand, with the good copywriting, with the good design, then he's satisfied with the service. If he has 9 steps with 10 questions on each step, with uploads of documents, with the card identification, then at one point he drops. So then it's not his problem, it's your problem. So you have to analyze all the time your processes and redesign and improve.
So Ilia, I have an additional question on that. Now, with that, there would be definitely some benchmarks or KPIs which banks should be looking at. So how do you see, what are the kind of parameters or how meaningful that would be defining towards the customer success?
Can you repeat the last phrase?
The
last phrase.
Yeah, the KPIs or benchmarks, of how they are meaningful in this context of.
Well, I can provide some examples maybe. This is going to respond the question. From the benchmark point of view and digital transformation point of view, there's a very nice example of the economy part containing mostly of small, medium enterprises. So in case you see the European report of, it's available for 2020, 2021, the share of the economy of the SMEs. So we see that it's different across all the countries, but mostly it's a small, medium enterprise. And then we think about, as a bank maybe, what an SME is doing when actually starting. What is my journey? So I go to a government organization, get the authority to start my business. And my intention is, as an entrepreneur, is to do the business. But we are in 2023, I cannot do any business without having a bank account. So my next step after the government organization is to go to a bank. And when it takes the hell 2 weeks to open a bank account and get some kind of interface to access it, to send invoices and stuff, then actually I burned out 2 weeks. When any bank would offer it to do it in 2 hours, that would be a precise decision for me to go with that bank. There's a good example. There's a very nice startup in the UK called Money. This is exactly what they did. They provided this very super cool, nice app for SMEs to be able to do the business on the fly. And as an entrepreneur, you don't want to waste your time on waiting for the bank. Like you have the family, you have to generate some cash. Same for retail, but the user journey and the whole this measurements is to a big degree complicated because the products provided by the banks are amazing big, and then new use cases do appear. But the basics supposed to be there. The customer need all the time long, independent what kind of industry we are talking about, is an easy access to the service and products. If there's something on the market, if there's any information, I as a customer would like to access this with a single click. This, you can watch the kids' behavior. If they saw something, they want it right now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to do years training unless to get it. They want to get it right now in their hands. To a big degree, the customer behavior is the same. In case I'm able to apply for a product of the bank, I should be able to access it very simply. Of course, there's the regulatory requirements for the security, and those, when applied, provide some obstacles to the seamless user journey. But in general, we should measure the balance, how quickly the end customer should be able to access any product, keeping in mind that it's supposed to be secure.
So, for you, okay.
I would like to mention that at the first look, the success of the strategy of customer-oriented or customer-centric, it will be how many people are using the application or the service. But I have a not very lucky experience when the application, which is #1 in the Apple Store or Google Store, doesn't work for 3 days for transfer money. So it's a not so good experience. It's difficult to say because it's not like to go to a shop. If you're not like the service, you are moving to another shop. If you're in a bank, it's difficult to switch to another. You have no experience of the services in different banks. That's different from the day-by-day activity. So you have only feedbacks and rumors from your friends, from relatives that service in that bank is better maybe, or it's difficult to compare these things, and it's difficult to put the KPI. KPI is stabilized by internal process, by the chiefs, by the bosses. You should serve, so the queue should not be longer than 7 minutes waiting time for service, for example. It's like it was a chemical bank in New York. But it's put from the bank side, so it's internal KPIs. From the customer side, yes, if you are not satisfied, you can leave. You can go to another service, to another provider, but it's not easy for the banks. That's a big issue. So it's not an easy question.
So KPIs is one part. Sorry.
Can I add something at this KPI? I think it depends how your organization works and addresses these situations. For instance, in the last year of activity, we are a startup, we're not a bank, and for us the KPI is like very important. And we've established, for instance, KPI for every step on the platform. Like we have a funnel. In the end, we want to increase 500% per year. What should we do to increase 500% per year? We have to onboard 3,000 or 4,000 users per month. To onboard 4,000 users per month, how much do we have to spend on marketing? And we have a funnel at each step, and we number how many people we get on the website, how many people get on the landing page, how many people from those getting on the landing page on board and successfully complete the application. So this is a kind of internal review for us if our process works fine. If we have a big churn rate in 1 month, that means we have to change something. So
but this is a quantitative marks, not a qualitative. You cannot say how qualitative is the service.
Yes, I agree.
We are working just official income, and we have a very big rejecting rate. So we're not working with unofficial income. So for us, it's important to bring as many people as possible, check them if they have official income, and then we work with them. So yes, it's important. You're right what you're saying, but we're doing a very good job in ensuring that we have the best customers for our investors.
I think it's also about what the company actually wants to achieve and in what field is activating. Now, us as a payment processor, one of our goals is to increase the unbankerized population in Romania. So if I'm telling that this is my KPI, then I will bring to the market the solution that will help our clients, the banks, to reach that point in a cheaper way, in the more sudden way, because if they are not bankerized until now, that means it's the hard work that they cannot do by themselves. So yes, the KPI, we all here are not working for peanuts. We are profitable, so we wish to be profitable, to have a profitable business. But I think in the times that we are living right now, it's not only the profit that we need, the immediate profit, big difference, immediate profit that we need to think about. If we are not investing in the markets that we are activating in, the future profits are going to be very difficult to achieve.
Very true. And when we talk about KPIs, yes, that becomes a process part. But when we look at a transformation journey, there is a big change. And when change is there, there is a resistance. So what are the strategies which bank could implement to overcome this kind of resistance and the legacy mindset, I would say?
Well, of course, any change have to force the resistance, we have to reduce it. And as I mentioned, it's very important to create a team, to have the people which are thinking on the innovative way. And it's only the way is to grow the people inside or to acquire them or to pay them from outside. It was mentioned already here at the conference that it's good for banks to have cooperation with institutions, for academics or universities to start some common projects, for example, and to attract young people to be a part of a team. These young people, we have no fear. So we come and we don't know the rules in the bank, for example. We have to try everything, and we want to try. And it's a good idea to stimulate all these new things and ideas. And because new people, young people, especially as was mentioned, that generation, they are looking we have new knowledge, new initiatives, and we have no fear, as I mentioned. So it's better to stimulate them and to cooperate, to combine the experience of the old banks workers with young enthusiasts and to put them together to create new products and, of course, to implement new products. And that's, for me, the best way is the synergy between the experience and innovatives.
Interesting. Dumitru, do you want to add anything on that?
It seems like I'm the disruptor on the stage. I am speaking from the perspective of a startup. It should not be equaled with the bank because it's totally different what big institutions have as priorities. From our perspective, to bring interesting ideas, digitization, transformation, and what we've seen is working for us. It's a robust team. It's efficiency in processes, because we've discovered you can spend a lot of time, money in vain if your processes are not working as they should. And of course, all of this would have not been possible without a vision, the point towards you're going.
You were talking about resistance. Yeah? This is a very interesting topic. A few years ago, I would say that most of the companies, not only banks, are very resistant to change. During the last year, I have seen a significant shift. Everybody is starting to understand how important it's to cover this segment, and to be digital. And this is why I see less and less resistance. And all the banks, if you look, they are trying to find solution and somehow to improve their processes to bring the digitalization in their companies. Of course, it's not simple. They need to change a lot of things because, as I said, it is a mindset change. But they have started this process, and I'm confident that they are going in the right direction. Because there are a lot of benefits. Digitalization means also cost reductions, not only client satisfaction. Because good services which are automated, processes fully digital and automated, are reducing the amount of money you spend to get a contract or to make a new account and so on.
Thanks. Ilia, I have a more specific question for you. In your experience, can you provide some insight on how open banking has been successfully implemented in countries And there as well, what were the challenges you faced? Again, that's a change. So,
how much time do I have? Okay, like open banking is a standard initiated initially in Europe. Everybody knows and stuff. It has some pros and cons. Pros, it might be used to implement a lot of nice things in our life, especially in personal life of each user. But what were actually the cons, and how these cons actually appeared across the countries? First of all, open banking is as any regulation set of rules. That's clear to understand. The thing is, those rules have been applied to all the market players. Is this a tier 1 bank with a billions valuation? Or is it a small electronic money institution? The same rules have been applied. Which most likely is not okay. And we have a couple of countries who did it differently. In UK, they said, like the Financial Conduct Authority, who is the regulator, they said, oh, we have the biggest 9 banks in the country. We will elaborate some specific rules for them, prompting them to act differently and faster. This is the CMA 9 banks, and this is how we got the Open Banking UK standard. In Australia, there's as well smart way. They said, okay, let's split this into stages. And the first comers will be big banks, then will come tier 2 banks, and then small electronic money institution and tier 3 banks. Then we as well face some kind of utility companies, and that's their roadmap, to my understanding, of moving to open finance, open data and stuff. In Poland, the National Common Authority said, well, we would like to have our national standard for that. In Moldova, I hope I can provide this example since it's already announced, National Common Authority, the Banca Națională Moldovei, said, well, we as well would like to any bank follow a standard, because the overall PSD2 regulation doesn't say what kind of standard you should follow, and this creates obstacles. These are like a couple of examples. There are so many of them available, but I believe we will require a couple of hours for that.
Great insight. And do you want to add any comments on that?
On what?
On what he was saying in terms of...
I am a payment processor.
Yeah.
So for me, the open banking is like the big enemy. Why? Because it's
That's not true.
No. If you are not looking behind the first feeling, it might seem like it's the big enemy. So I can understand why the banks are a little bit skeptical about it, why the financial institutions and the chain that is involving financial institutions, so processors and so on, why they have this fear of change. Because it's a human being, we are, let's say, not reacting very well to change. But instead of being afraid of it, we should find a solution to embrace it and find a solution to be part of this kind of process that it's a natural next step. So yes, we were not very happy. Yes, in discussions with the banks, we didn't feel them very happy, but together we are starting right now to find ways to increase our solutions in a way that will respond to this change.
Interesting.
Can I?
It's interesting that in this game with open banks, we usually forgot about another player, which is a human. Because to apply the open banking PSD, it should be agreement of a person that he accepts to use his data. Like GDPR, not all people would like to give access to that data. That's okay. Usually,
nobody asked them. The end user was not asked. So
okay, but they should ask, as I know. That's a huge demand to explain people what's the benefit of open banking. If I am a customer of a bank, why my data from one bank should be shared with another banks? That's the education of people in financial education is very important. How to explain, okay, from business point of view, from banks, from a financial institution, It's super fine, it's change of data, it's exceptional, additional bank. But from the personal, from human side, what's the benefit? What's the key question for me?
Can I? Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention, actually. When we started with open banking as Saltage in 2019, the initial reaction of, since banks are our customers, was, we don't want this. We have to do it, we are against it. The next, actually, version of their, let's say, position or view of open banking was, interesting, we can actually benefit out of that. We said, why should my data be shared with another bank? Well, the average amount of banks per user, let's say so, in Europe is 2.9. So in average, a user has accounts in 3 banks. As an end result, how do the users struggle? I cannot, as an end customer, I cannot view all my financial life in one app somewhere. I have to go in 3 places, maybe download in some kind of Google spreadsheets and stuff, do all this analysis of my expenses manually. Who actually does it? Like, people are lazy. But as a benefit for a bank, we know that our users have accounts in other banks. In case we're gonna ask them, do you want us to consume your data from the second bank you are a customer of, and we're gonna show you all your accounts on our interfaces, will you be grateful? Of course, yes, these are like initial steps how the banks do benefit out of that. And this is how, and the banks benefit because their customers are benefiting out of that. And there's so many use cases for that. And of course, the initial reaction is, this is my data, I don't want to share it. Who's going to use it, how is going to use it, where it's going to be stored, do we need user consent, how we should actually manage the user consent, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I would like to add something. I think this open bank it's actually a people-centric product. Yeah, like this was designed, and actually I think that I'm the one, the end user. I'm the one who is benefiting from this initiative. Yeah, because I would like to share my data, because sharing data means that I will get different offers, yeah, from different players, and in the end I will have a better product. Yeah? I'm not afraid to share my data. I am much more interested in getting something cheaper, something faster, than to be afraid what it happens with my data. Anyway, our data is everywhere, so I really want to benefit because somebody is using my data. I don't think the banks are very happy with this, sharing of information.
You are ready to open your account for all people, to show to all of them?
Yes, I have no problem.
Well, it's not to all the people. It's actually to a specific third-party provider to a limited amount of time upon my consent as a user. That's fine.
Dumitru, I have a very curious question I've been thinking to ask you, and I'm sure the audience will also be curious. It's around crowdfunding in the context of banking. How can traditional banks effectively use crowdfunding as a tool for digital transformation? Any specific use case or strategies you can throw some light on?
We have the solution, the technological solution. We have some money, not as much as we would like, but banks have the money. So our public proposal for banks is come and use our solution to fund projects and to get your interest rate. We have an onboarding solution which takes place 100% online since 2019. The banks in Moldova started just this year to offer online boarding, and in some limited conditions. So our technological solution is much more advanced than banks have. And the process of analyzing the projects that we have listed on the platform takes place automatically. You don't need a credit office or to check a few departments. It takes place 100% online, and it takes the decision in less than 5 seconds. Of course, there are some exceptions when there are situations that we have to recheck some files. But this is a good technological solution where banks and other institutions can use it to fund, for instance, projects. We have pitched in front of, for instance, international donors. If they have, for instance, programs to support SMEs, to support green economy, they can pour the money into our platform and we will select the best ideas to finance those initiatives. In the end, everybody will win. And we already have such programs. We have a $100,000 program right now running with the support of USAID and FTA. We're giving financing with 20% cash back. 20% could be the interest rate. So basically the SMEs get not free money, like the same money they get, the same money they have to pay back. That's all.
Interesting.
May I intervene? It's an appeal to the banks to invest in fintech, especially, and deep tech, because, for example, of well-known companies in the deep tech, in the last 10 years, they grow from 7 to 49 times. So it means it's growing very exponentially. And it's a good investment because average startup investment is something between $200,000 and $1 million or euro. So it's comparable with branch office if you renovate it. So for me, if you move to digital, it's better to invest in new technologies than in buildings. So it's a good opportunity to use this platform and to invest in new technologies and new projects and startups.
Thank you for support.
Alex, when we talk about eKYC, which is getting increasingly important, how banks are now interacting with the customers, how do you see eKYC playing a vital role in enhancing customer onboarding and security?
eKYC, it's a very important part on the digital journey. Yeah? Basically, you need to know your customer prior offering any services. This is why you need a very good eKYC system which will allow a seamless process, yeah, with less steps, something that it's easier to be used. And I'm not talking only about remote identification, because KYC doesn't mean just to verify that that person who is trying to perform a process, it's that person. Yeah, I need additional information. Yeah, for example, searching the sanctions list. Seeing people which are related to money laundering and they, okay, sorry. Okay, so it's important to know exactly who is that person that you are getting involved with. And the eKYC, yeah, can help you in this matter. Yeah, you can understand exactly what are who is the person. As I said, adopting this method can decrease the costs you are having. Yeah, you are satisfying your client needs, which is more happy that he is able to do something on the go, yeah, without going to a branch. And on the other side, you are increasing your security, because from my perspective, eKYC, it's much better than any identification made by persons, yeah, by humans. And you can prevent fraud using this kind of technologies.
Thanks. Definitely, you know, I don't want me to be in between your coffee breaks, which is coming soon. So last question on data science and AI. So I'm sure it's very important, everybody would like to know. With digital transformation, we look at innovation and efficiency. So can you share some example of how that can be leveraged using data science and AI?
We can start from the bottom, from the beginning, for forecasting, for classification, to offer, to loan money or to not. We can go to clusterization of people, to say segmentation and identification of behavior of a customer. We can go to AQE, KYC to collect some additional data about person from open sources, for example. But now the trend, of course, it's deep learning and generative networks, and ChatGPT changed a lot in this landscape. And as it was mentioned also by a bank, that we intend to implement a intelligent chatbot which can help. And it's very good and nice to hear, because if you call them and listen, you have number 40 in a queue, please, you are very important for us, wait for another 10 minutes, it's boring. There are a lot of challenge here, because we are living in a country which speaks 2 languages, it combining different words and different languages, so chatbot will be not so easy in our country. Another challenge, of course, it's decision making. Not data science or the neural network have to decide or to take a decision, but it can help to explain the decision. It will be like in medicine, a second opinion, a third opinion for top management, why we should accept one strategy or another strategy, or to detect the bottlenecks in data flow, because the process mining, any process in a bank, in a financial institution, it's a have data track, and you can follow how it was done. So the process mining can help you to identify the bottlenecks in the problematic area. And for example, digital marketing also, it can help to simulate a marketing campaign, to see what will be benefit of your campaign with advertising, what to estimate, not to apply as usual A/B test and to have a target group and the normal group. It can be simulated and can be much less cost. Data science, of course, it's mentioned that data is the oil of 21st century, and analysis is the engine of this. Data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, all these things are changing the landscape of financial and bank activity. And this conference confirmed this, which we are talking about, the digital transformation and Fintech. So you should understand, or people should understand, that it's not so difficult. We should not be aware about the artificial intelligence. It's our assistant, it's our help. It's not a substitution of the people. Even some jobs will be cut or will change. We have to look forward and go on this symbiotic human artificial intelligence, or like in Isaac Asimov's mentioned, CFE civilization, so C from carbon and FS from ferron, from robots. We are very close to this situation, which will be in the very close future.
My bank, I believe, knows more about me than my partner, my mom, or my kids. They know my preferences, what I consume, when I consume, how often, etc. It's rarely a bank who uses the data to provide a value. Like literally, a bank might know almost everything about you, maybe more than you know about yourself. And since rarely a bank is actually providing a value-added product out of that for their consumers, this is how fintechs actually appear with with a kind of data science approach. And of course, we see the trend that many tier one banks, like globally ones, especially IFA, investing into startups, IFA trying to do this job themselves. But literally, a bank can provide a lot of value-added products to their customers by using in the correct way the data, since anyhow the data is already stored in the bank.
Thank you. So we are coming to the end. Any final remarks anybody wants to make for any suggestions for bank or financial institutes?
I think it was a very long day and everybody came with a lot of information. But what I noticed is that every single person that came on this stage was kind of recognizing the trends in this digitalization era, and depending on the business that they are running, they made a point of what to expect and how to reach there, and how banks should be, or what banks should have in mind when they are stepping into this digitalization process.
Thank you. That was
my short remark. I think everybody should take into account trends, but should not necessarily follow them 100%. See the trends, test them, try to adapt if that is possible. It doesn't mean that if this is a trend, that is the best solution that you can use. If you can use it in your company and you can take benefit of it, do it. In other cases, it should not be like, I don't know, like we should use artificial intelligence if you don't need it.
well said.
Yeah, but,
Well,
please.
thank you. I believe we can accept the digitalization in the same way as the sunset or sunrise, so it happens, independent do we want this or not. Anyhow, as a private person, as a company, this is going to happen. We can benefit out of that, especially as a company, any bank can benefit out of that. And that's the status of as for today. In 5 or 7 years, the question will be, can you survive without it? Right now, you can benefit. Later, that it will be a question of surveillance of your company. That's it.
Yeah, I think that everybody now understood that this era of digitalization, it's here. Yeah, it's something that it's happening right now. That the AI, it's already there in a lot of solutions, and you have to take advantage of these new technologies, yeah, and to see how you can integrate them into your business. Because as my colleague said, yeah, in few years, if you don't do that, probably you will be out of the market.
Thank you. That was very insightful. And just one line from me that, yes, digital transformation is not a one-time activity. It's a journey. And it absolutely depends on in which path or at which stage you are in. So not everybody has to embrace everything. But depending on the path of the journey, there are a lot of things on the platter which you can take it forward. But digitalization has to happen. Thank you.